First the blade like ball face. Echo when I let go of this praise in the hallway. Special, the way he wrestled with the devil. Come on. The pedal to the meadow while leveling up all day. Yeah. It's always first the blade like ball face. Echo when I let go of this praise in the hallway. Special, the way he wrestled with the devil. Come on. The pedal to the meadow while leveling up all day.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the TDT Poshcast right here on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in this evening. Thank everyone for your support. Thank you for subscribing. If it's your first time to this podcast and you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe by clicking the subscribe button and also clicking the notification bell so you'll be notified when other videos of the other videos that I post. Here on the TDT Poshcast, I interview live show hosts, Posh show hosts. So this is a Poshmark based, platform based around Poshmark in regards to interviewing live show hosts, uploading different tutorials, uploading different videos of different characters that I've been in the past. And by the way, this coming Saturday, if you follow me on Poshmark at TDT Garnett, this coming Saturday, I think I gotta have a pretty good, amazing idea for this Saturday. So you want to stay tuned this coming Saturday. Of course, you can catch me live on Poshmark at TDT Garnett every Tuesday or Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And then Saturdays at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And then, of course, every Sunday, I'll be right back here on YouTube interviewing your live Posh show hosts. And of course, we have an amazing host, an amazing guest this evening. But before I do that, I also want to make mention that this is a live interview. So those of y'all who are watching, they're okay. Here we go. Green, is it Truesdale? Green Truesdale is watching. Thank you for joining. JJ Skid, what's going on? Thank you for joining. And Giselle is watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. So yeah, it's live. So y'all who are watching, you can leave comments. You can ask questions. If you have any questions for my guests, you can ask her some questions in regards to, just because a lot of people I realize are new to Poshmark, or they're not really new, but they've never done a live Posh show host. They've never been a live Posh show host, never done a live show, and they have a lot of questions. How do I do certain things? So hopefully we can get those questions answered for you this evening. But go ahead and let people know the TDT Poshcast is live. I'm going to bring forth my first guest, or my next guest. And I believe when I first met her, one thing that stands out to me the most was how professional she was, just everything from the type of clothing she sells, her background, her setting. The background matters, because some of y'all, I don't know what's going on back there, but we're not going to go into that. But hers is very professional, communication and delivery. She even has the clip-on mic. Anytime you have the clip-on mic, you mean business. You know what I mean? So she has that clipped on the shirt, and, she's professional. So we're going to bring her in. But before I do so, I want to play a video that's going to basically introduce kind of who she is, what her shows seem like, what her shows are like, and then we'll bring her on. So my first guest is none other than Threads of Reese. But before we bring her on, let's go ahead and play this clip, kind of introducing her.
So it's a good day. Baby in my arms, walking through the neighborhood. Living in the present, not what I shoulda or could. I remember back when I was low as a rug. Now I'm standing up, look at what my father does. Turning all things new, gray skies blue. Hear the church saying, won't he do it? I know he's got my back. That's why I'm singing.
Wait a minute. See, I like that so much. I was over here dancing and vibing with it and just checking out how great the video is. So it was so short that I can't just let it play one time. I'm going to play that again. Let's run that back. Threads of Reese is in the building.
So it's a good day. Baby in my arms, walking through the neighborhood. Living in the present, not what I shoulda or could. I remember back when I was low as a rug. Now I'm standing up, look at what my father does. Turning all things new, gray skies blue. Hear the church saying, won't he do it? I know he's got my back. That's why I'm singing that.
All right, y'all, let's welcome to the TDT Poshcast my guest for today's show, Let's welcome Threads of Reese. If you wherever I was gonna say y'all clap, but I won't hear y'all clapping. So let's just bring her in. The one, the only Threads of Reese is in the building. What's going on, Reese?
Hey, Tristan, and hey to everybody else that's watching. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today.
Yes. How you doing this evening on this Sunday?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. What's going on? Elaine is watching. We have different people watching. What's up, Diana? Move your body.
Hey,
Is in the
everyone. Hey,
building.
Diana. Hey, Elaine.
What's going on, Jamie?
Hey,
What's up
Jamie.
with it? So, Reese, thank you again. I've already thanked you, behind the scenes, but I want to thank you publicly for just taking your time out. I know Sunday is a day where people relax and they chill with family and do all kind of different things. But thank you for taking your time out to help me, because you're only the fifth guest. So I believe these early stages are important stages when you're starting to get something lifted and getting off the ground. So I appreciate you for helping me getting this thing launched off, being a guest. I really appreciate your time today, and thank you for coming.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I count it a blessing. It is a pleasure to be here. Yeah.
Yes, it is a blessing. So let's start off here. Threads of Reese, before we get deep into, the posh side of things, where do you currently reside? I know where you live, but what area are you in for the people?
So I am in the New Orleans metro area. So
New Orleans.
NOLA, Louisiana.
Okay. New Orleans. Yeah. Speaking of that, I had some crawfish today. I had 2 pounds with sausage.
Okay. Was it good? That's the question. Was it?
It was good. It was.
Okay.
And matter of fact,
I would have to try it to see if it's actually good.
Yeah, you would have to confirm that, but it's good. But and I was eating with Crystal out earlier today, and what I said to her, I said, you know what? Because I actually thought about I was eating them. I was saying told her how Reese said that it's, I don't know if it was a shortage and the crawfish may be small, but these were actually big. They're like decent sized crawfish. They were good.
Yeah, I noticed that they have been the size has been good, but the price of them has been a little bit higher.
The price has been high. These were $9.99 a pound.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. I had some on yesterday. So I actually had from 2 places on yesterday, just trying to find one that I really, really like. Because I've been having it, but it hasn't been that good. So just trying to find
been that good. What's going on? Iris Pierce. Okay, it says Pierce, but she said it's Iris. People always have different names. When you go on social media, the names are totally different. Who is Pierce? But Iris, what's going on? Iris has joined.
Hey,
but yeah, what's up, Iris, by way of California? Yeah, the crawfish were good. So you said it's going pretty good in New Orleans. We know New Orleans has the best crawfish. That's what people say. I don't know how true that is.
I mean, it's on every corner, to be honest with you. So it's all about finding or going to a place that you find is really good, because you'll find a lot of places that are really good, but you'll favor some places better than others.
Yeah, if there's any more crawfish lovers in the building, in the room, let us know that you love crawfish, because the season is now. The season is now. What is it like there in New Orleans other than crawfish? What is Bree Baby says? I'm at the casino. Oh, she's okay. Somebody's tag. I thought that was on the. Anyways, what is it like in New Orleans? How is it? Because we've heard of what is it, Bourbon Street? We've heard of things like that. What is it like?
So what is it like?
Yeah, because I've never been.
A lot of fun, a lot of culture, centered around food for sure. Like everywhere you go, there's food everywhere. There's tons of restaurants, establishments, whether it be chain restaurants and or just regular little small businesses. But food is amazing here. The music, the culture. Currently going on right now is a French Quarter Festival. So we've recently entered into our festival season. I mean, literally, we have a festival for everything. Like it's the French Quarter Festival right now. We recently had the Crawfish Festival, and it's going to be ongoing from here on out.
That's what I'm talking about. I love those crawfish festivals. Yeah. What's a normal day like when you're not poshing? We're gonna get into that. But what is a normal day like? Well, I know a normal day may include poshing, because a lot of people they are constantly on Poshmark. So that's part of your day. Cool. Well, what is a normal day like? Like, for Reese?
So I'm involved in quite a bit of things. As you may know, I am an author as well. So I am a published author. I've written 2 books, which sometimes I've actually put it out there on Poshmark. Sometimes I allow people to buy the books if they would like to bundle an item. But you can find me on Apple. You can find me on Amazon. as well. So I deal with that as well as some other things. I know I'm being very vague or broad.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
But yeah, so the typical day for me is, wake up in the morning, prayer, all of that jazz, make sure I'm listening to worship music or what have
Yes.
you. Yeah, just to get the day going, you know what I mean? And just to have something to ponder on, to think on throughout the day as well. So
Right.
yeah,
Gotcha.
lately I've been away from Posh because my birthday just passed. So
Yes.
yeah, I've been traveling and it has been amazing. But tomorrow is going to be my welcome back show
Welcome back, show. What time?
at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time.
7 a.m. y'all. So those
Yeah.
y'all who some of y'all be at work at 7, but just you can have your laptop open and your phone at the same time.
And I know for some people that's quite early, but typically when I do my shows, I'll typically do Monday or Wednesdays. But I'll be on for about 3 to 4 hours. Yeah.
Well, first of all, that's not early because there are some people who go live at 3 a.m., 2 a.m. They don't care who sleep or who
that
not
is
sleep.
true. I mean, Poshmark is a 24-hour nonstop platform, so you can get
Nonstop.
everything that I like about it. I do enjoy the flexibility. You know what I mean? It's like you can
Yes.
get on whenever.
That's a good point. You can make money when you want to, but
Exactly.
sometimes you will, people, because there are also opportunities to make money by people just buying your items straight from your closet. So you can be sleeping and wake up and you make some money.
Now that's what I do enjoy. I do find that
Yes.
most of my sales, however, it does come from the live shows, which I can imagine that's probably everybody's experience
Right.
for the
Right.
most part. But yeah, it is amazing when you can wake up and you're like, oh my goodness, I have to go to the post office or what have you. So yeah.
What's up? Miss D is in the building. Also,
Hey, Miss D.
Miss D. She says her name is Baby Girl. I don't know what that's about, but I guess she forever young. I don't know what that means. I guess that means.
Hey, baby
What's
girl.
going on? What's up, Christy? Christy
Hey.
is in the building. And then, of course, Center Stage Thrift is in the house. What's going on, Center Stage? So, you spoke about you do prayer and worship music, and I see on your shirt Isaiah. What was the scripture? Isaiah 41.
It's Isaiah 43:19.
Isaiah 43:19. So how important in regards to Posh, how important is the spiritual side of Threads of Reese? How does it tie into play with Posh and helping you sell and just kind of doing what you're doing? Like, what's the inspiration?
Okay. So
I mean, I know, but some people may not know,
Isaiah 43:19, and it just basically says that I'm doing a new thing, and it says I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. And so focusing on that first part that says I'm doing a new thing, for me, I've been on Posh, which I know that's one of your questions, so I don't know if we want to.
You've been reading my cards or what? Hold on, do I have it turned? How'd you know that? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I do know that you asked that question because I've seen all the other reviews, and it's typically the first question. So
look at you.
Me, Posh, I've been on the actual Poshmark platform since 2015, I would say.
Okay.
However, I would just put like random things on there maybe once a year or so. And I took a really long extended break from Poshmark. And last year, I don't know what it was, but last year in June, I literally got on there and I was like, oh my goodness, there's live access, like, just having the live shows. So I wasn't aware that that was a thing on there. So that captured my interest. And I began to get on there a lot more. So I'm really not active on social media, as active as I used to be. However, Posh now has become a social media platform for me, especially with me having the live access, etc. So it does take quite a bit of time. And I mean, you are a fellow seller as well. So you do know, especially for those who are probably watching as well, that it can take up a lot of time because either you're listing items, and you do know the listing takes a very long time.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm the type of person I prefer to have my items listed. So it does take time. But to say what I was going to say, so it is a new thing for me, and God is doing a new thing, whereas Posh is concerned. I've had live access since about July last year. So the end of July, I think I did my first show possibly around that time.
Okay.
And since then I have initially, I think the first 3 to 4 months of me having live access, I would do things here or there, but I started to see how much of a great opportunity this could possibly be around like the beginning of November. And since then, I've been, just on it and trying to maintain a schedule. So, to answer
Right.
your question, my relationship with God, it means the world to me.
Yes, number one. It's number
Yeah,
one.
number one, it is priority to me. And whereas that coincides with Poshmark, I've heard other people say this as well, who are believers in the faith. They
Yes.
say that they'll have boxes. Like I have a whole bunch of boxes on the side that are, put together as well. That also helps me be a little bit more prepared. It takes time to do it. So wherefore, when it's time for me to actually package all of my items, that's just a part of it that I do not have to do. But in doing that, like prior to my shows, I do pray before I start the shows as well. Make sure that
Okay.
listening to worship music and all of that also. And then I'll speak over my boxes as well. I always have a number that I do have in mind before I start my shows, and operating
Gotcha.
in faith and belief that I would actually make that number or more.
Right. Let me ask you this. What about the people who are, let me see how I can say, kind of concerned, because there are people like you, myself. There's a lot of people that I've noticed who are not afraid to be open about God on Poshmark while going live. But then you have some people who may think, I don't want to, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to maybe lose access, or they're kind of maybe afraid of what Posh may think or what people may think about them saying all of that, or it may hurt their sales and may not cause them to get a lot of viewers. But people like you, me, also Mel, a Dreamer's Chase, there are a lot of Poshers who don't care. They're going to be who they are. They don't care what people think. What do you say about that? Like just that kind of concern that some people have. Should I mention God in my shows? Should I not? You know what I mean?
Think that if it is a part of you, just like anything, it is an open platform. And thus far, Posh have not said anything about it, but I would just be. And I mean, like I said, if it's a part of you, it's going to come out regardless of whether you try not to say it or not. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, and I also feel like if people are offended by it, then at the end of the day, then they're just not the people for you. I mean, personally, in my shows, I encourage people all the time.
You do,
I mean,
yes, you do.
not like Jesus is gonna do this to you and that. You know what I mean?
No,
like you're going to hell. No, that's not me. I don't act like that in person. Yeah, but I do find little ways of sharing the gospel and my faith as well. And I find that a lot of people, like I'll see in the chat sometimes, a lot of people are saying things behind the things that I share, or they can appreciate it. So I do have
that's what I've noticed
of followers that they are in the same faith as well. So
yeah, that's true. So like I was saying, when I first saw you, you were very professional. Well, you still are very professional, classy, elegant. You speak with a certain zest, just like you were just saying. I am a person well in the faith, and I have, just very professional.
Impersonations of people are just like, especially of me. I can't speak for everybody else, but oh my goodness, it's always so exaggerated.
It's exaggerated. Well, there's baby girl. I mean, not what's it, Miss D. Miss D know what I'm talking about. Diana, you've been to her show. Threads and Reese coming there talking about welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Even the way she says welcome in is very astute and professional. Welcome in, and you're like, oh wow, I'm glad to be welcomed in here. Thank you. But yes, very professional, nice items. A lot of them are new with tags. A great setting, great background. What benefits do you think it causes for a live show host to be as professional as they can, in regards to selling their items? Or do you think it doesn't matter? You can just kind of come on and just do whatever?
Honestly, I think that there are different parts of that in a sense. Me personally, I think it just depends on a person's personality. It also depends on the seller's personality and the viewer's personality, in my opinion, because I feel like some people, they can watch any show and it does not matter what the background looks like. I personally try my best to have a presentable background, but the viewers are the ones who's looking at you. So sometimes you can kind of catch things and sometimes you can't, like lighting.
Right.
Sometimes
Yeah.
in the morning, I have a ton of ring lights. So sometimes in the morning I'm doing my shows really early. So therefore it's dark outside, so the lighting, it gets better as the sun comes out for me personally. But
Right.
I know for me, I only have like 2 or 3 people on there that I can legit watch, and the background is, it's okay to me, but I can deal
Yeah.
with it. Now, when it comes to a
Right.
lot of people, yeah, I'm just like, click.
Click, swiping
But
up to
I
the
do
next.
think it is a representation of the person as well. Like you can look, I don't think that my background is like the greatest, but at the end of the day, I feel like it is a representation of who I am as a person as well.
Oh, that's a good point. The
Yeah.
background represents who you are. If that's the
Yeah.
case, then some of y'all, we know
Some
who.
people are more organized than others, you know what I mean? So it totally just depends. Like me, things just have to be like this.
Yeah. Jennifer Roto says Tristan is the background checking king. Well, I've seen your background, Jennifer, and we're not gonna even go there. But there's a question for you from Giselle. She says, do you sell on other platforms? If so, how do you handle the cross listing,
I do not.
etc.?
So I do have live access. I've had it for like 5 months now on Whatnot. However,
Okay.
I know a lot of people that have switched from Poshmark to Whatnot. And I mean, one of the greatest things about them is that they do have that. I think it's like 8%, which is a big difference from 20%, right?
20%. Yeah.
Yeah, a huge difference. And I've heard a lot of people, they're like, it's the best, it's this, it's that. I've personally, like I said, I've had the live access for like 5 months now. Maybe, no, it's been 7 actually, because I got it in early November. And I
Right.
just have not had the opportunity or the time to really go over. I've watched other people's shows, but I haven't had the time to do the cross listing and the this and the that. I know that it's going to take time to do that. And I have so much other things going on that I just haven't had the opportunity to do so. So I do look forward to doing that in the future. I heard that it is beneficial, but as of now, I'm only on Poshmark.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it does take a lot of, think about it, it takes a lot of time just to list on Poshmark,
Yeah.
and then
there are apps whereas you can cross list quite easily. But yeah, I really don't know how all of that stuff works. And it just makes me feel like I have so much other things to be concerned about. Working 2 platforms, I don't have the space and the time for that right now.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. That's kind of what Jennifer Roto just said about there's some apps that automatically multi-list and remove stuff. Yeah. Okay. In regards to your items, what kind of items for people who never been to your closet and they're just checking you out for the first time here, what kind of items can they expect in your closet, and what kind of items do you sell like on your live show listings if they wanted to check out what you have?
Okay, so typically all of my items are new with tag items, and or sometimes it will be new without tag, but I only sell new with tag, new without tag items. And my popular brands are Free People, Gianni Beanie, Antonio Milani, and yeah, I have a few other brands, but those are the 3 top brands that I do sell.
Okay, so y'all who are watching, because there are a lot of people who do like new with tags, new without tags. That's mainly what they look for. So if you're a person watching and you like new with tags, new without tags, nice items, check out Threads of Reese on Poshmark. She can get you great deals on her items.
Yeah, and it totally varies from the types of items, but those are the brands. It varies from, you can find a really nice dress to go to prom and or a ball, a wedding, you know what I mean? Brunch as well, occasional items. So it totally just depends. I have jeans, tops, skirts, dresses. Yeah.
Okay, and speaking of that, in regards to inventory, I noticed another thing I noticed, you always have a fresh supply of inventory, like you said, new with tags, new without tags. For people who may have trouble sourcing and just getting inventory in, what can they do to have? What are some tips you have, if you have any, for people who can get a consistent supply of inventory, or what things can they look for? Where can they go? Well, you don't have to be specific about where they can go, but what kind of advice do you have for people who still trying to figure out where to get their items from?
Okay, so I would think that it totally depends on if you are that person like myself that do only new with tag, new without tag items, and or some people do have that platform to whereas they do excellent use condition items, gently used, etc. I do watch a lot of pot shows. A lot of people do thrifts, shops, etc. I am one. I personally source all of my items. I do not
Okay.
have a supplier. Hopefully one day I will be able to have one, but I do take like a day or two throughout the week or what have you, to whereas I'll go and I'll ride around and just source whatever I can, you
Right.
know. Yeah.
You got to put in the time then if you
You
want,
have to
you
spend the
know, you
time.
got to put in the
Like I
time.
said, with this, especially if you are working towards this to possibly being, you know, like a full-time job or what have you,
Mm,
then at the end of the day, like it's eat, sleep, breathe, posh. It honestly really is. Like if you are a person that you have a schedule going and you are consistent, yeah, it's like I said, it's sourcing, listing,
y-
selling, and packaging. So it's all four of those things. You're going to be doing one or the other.
yes, you have to. Yeah, you have to put in the work basically to get, items sold.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I find that I think that once somebody, if you're new to Posh and you just get out there and put some good effort in and just try your best, you'll find out what works for you, where to go,
exactly. Exactly.
what times, it'll just kind of flow. And then, like you said earlier, you made a good point how you can do this as often as you like or whenever you want. So you have time to figure out how you want to do it, to where you want to go, when you want to list, and things like that. You also mentioned live shows, and that's probably the biggest part of Posh right now is the live show access that was just released a few years ago. What do you think are the benefits of having a live show? We kind of talked about it a little bit earlier about getting items sold, but what are the benefits? There are some people who are contemplating, I'm not sure, should I go live? I might have my first show someday, I don't know. But what are the benefits of having a live show versus just listing in your closet and not doing live shows? Because some people don't want to be on camera, some
Yeah.
people don't do all that. What do you think those
So I think
benefits?
one of the greatest benefits is that you can, I mean, outside of the viewers or the buyers, potential buyers, um, actually, like they can actually see the item. You know what I mean? You can get a
Oh
feel
yeah.
the items in itself. That
Right.
differs than you just having pictures in your closet. I think that a person can guess whether this size would possibly fit me or not. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I'll
Right.
be shows and I can see the person hold the item up, and or you have the benefit of the person trying the items on. Now, not everyone tries items on in shows, but I'm more than happy to do so, especially if someone is quite interested, because I do know that Poshmark, we all know Poshmark's return policy. It's a you resell it kind of thing, you know? So
Right.
yeah, and I mean, you're basically stuck with the item. You can either gift it and or you resell it.
Right. Miss D, I keep saying that baby girl's throwing me off. Miss D says it also gives you a chance to get to know the people
Exactly. That was
while
going to
you're
be
doing live shows.
my second thing. So yeah, you do get to know the person, and I think I connect with so many people on there. I mean, like I said, not everyone is going to be for you. You're not going to be for everyone, but when you do
Right.
gain that core amount of followers and or just people who frequent your show, some people just come in my show sometimes just to be there, and I always take the opportunity to let people know that I appreciate their support, whether it be that they are just coming in just to say hi, because all of it
Yeah.
takes time, right? Just you clicking on my show, coming in, it means the world to me. Just for me to say hi to you, like you said, I'm always like, welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, just
Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah. Hey y'all, let me tell y'all this who's watching this. If you ever join, some people try to sneak in shows and just kind of see what's going on. It's impossible to sneak in Reese's shows because she pays attention to who comes in. Every now and then she'll glance up there. You know how it's up there in the left corner. She
yeah.
glances up there. Oh, welcome in, TDT. I'm like, oh, I can't even sneak in here. I'm trying to see what's
Now,
going on.
that's not all the time. I try my best because I try to personally invite the person in, you know what I mean? But at the end
Right.
of the day, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm moving around, showing items, this, that, and the other, I may not catch everyone. But yeah, typically I do catch a lot of people when coming in.
Yeah, you do. You catch a lot of them. What's going on? Christy, aka Lundeen Lux, by way of New York City, is in the
Hey,
building. How you doing?
girl.
What's going on? Yeah. What are some tips? Do you have any tips in regards to having a live show? Because that's mainly one of the things that I go to a lot of different shows and I see people ask the host or they ask people in the comments. I'm thinking about going live my first show Monday. Any tips? So what are some tips you can give to people who they've never been live on Posh? They're thinking about going live, but they just need a little more help. What kind of tips do you have to have a successful first live show?
For one, I would say that preparation is key.
Right, preparation. Yeah.
Time is never lost time. It will take time to prepare. I think the more prepared, the more organized you are, the more success you'll be able to have. You know what I mean? I think the audience can appreciate someone that seems as if they put thought into it, as opposed to you just getting in front of the camera and you're just trying to get everything together. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a live show. Things are going to happen during the live show. Like, for instance, sometimes my ring lights go out because they're overheated. We're dealing with technology. Sometimes things die. You need to charge. You have all of these, chargers around, just trying to make sure that everything, sometimes my mic will die. I have 3 of them, and sometimes they say they're sometimes they aren't. But
you hear that? She has 3 mics, y'all. Some of y'all don't even know where to look for a mic, and she got 3 of them. Okay.
And like you said, no, I did not get this from Dave and Buster. I think in your last show, you were talking about how you saw people's mics and you're like, yeah, they got that. Busters.
I've seen them at the 367 tickets. Some of them I've seen. I'm like, you got that from Dave and Buster. You must be a beast on that machine, that game back there in the back. But
yeah, you can definitely find these little mics everywhere, from Amazon to God knows where. But also, I would just say to be yourself. I feel like, Poshmark is such a large community of different people with different personalities, different items, all of that. So I wouldn't say to compare yourself to others. You can learn things from other people. And no matter how long you've had live access, you've been in the platform, I think we're all constantly growing. You know what I mean? And you just have to find what works for you. But most importantly, just be yourself. I think people can appreciate authenticity more than you being a fraud or trying to be like someone else.
I've always said that's number one, being yourself. Just be yourself. Just do what you do, have fun, and be yourself. There's a question, I don't know, I think this is Small Fish Crafts, Jennifer Polo, but she says, when do we get to sleep? Asking for a friend, whatever that means.
She's asking for herself. When do we get to sleep? Girl, sleep is in the past, honey. I'm just playing. Make sure you get rest. Prioritize your body, honey, because it will catch up with you, okay?
Yes. I'm my parents' baby girl. I changed my email address to baby girl after my mom passed away. Okay. Yes, I forgot I even asked that question. I asked that when Hitler died. But yes, thank you for clarifying that. I asked that when we first started.
I was going to say, you asked that when Hitler died.
I asked that when Hitler died, Miss D. You still thinking about that? Come on now.
And no offense to anyone with us saying that. If you frequent TDT's show, then you know that it's a joke that's in there, okay?
Yeah, we like to have fun, which is another reason why I kind of clicked quickly with Reese, because I saw that she likes to have fun. She's true and authentic. You know what I mean? And I believe it's about having fun in your shows, Do you have you ever had trolls in your show?
Yeah, I've had I haven't had many, but I have had trolls in my show. Yeah, I don't come across them often, but I have experienced that before. Whereas I literally had to clear out my chat and all of that too.
How do you handle though? Do you address them, or you just kind of keep moving, block, ignore?
So the 2 that I did address them, and sometimes you'll find that there are people in your shows that address them as well, right? So yeah, but I have addressed them in the past. Yeah. I don't absolutely have to. You can just block them without even saying anything. So it totally
I think that's one of the best things you can do, is to just keep moving, but there are a lot of
trying to start a whole bunch of mess and
the drama. We all know about the Posh drama, and that's just another way of keeping that drama going. You go back and forth with the troll, and then you start talking about folks' mamas and stuff like that. Then it just gets out of hand. What I mean?
My closet is drama free. Okay, it really honestly is.
Yeah, it is. If you're looking for a drama free show, y'all check out Threads of Reese.
No time for that.
What'd you say?
I said I don't have time for that foolishness.
Yeah, I might got time for that. I don't have time for that, Jennifer Roto. Why you say my name? Don't worry about it. But anyways, how about reading the chat? There's some Posh show hosts who never read the chat, and you be trying to get their attention the best they can. Some people even say, hey, do you know her? Somebody text her and tell her to read the chat, please. how important, I know that's one thing you're good at. Like, even though if you don't keep up with it, you'll go back and say, okay, did I
Yeah.
miss anything in the chat? How important is reading the chat while having a live show?
I think it's really important. For one, it's engagement. You know, you're engaging with the viewers. And not only that, if you don't read the chat, oftentimes you will miss what they're requesting. And if you are live, you're trying to sell your items, right? So it's nice to be able to address them. Oftentimes, I'll have a list that I'm addressing, so I'll make sure to let the person know I'm going in the order of which, you know, the requests were sent in. So I'll get to it as soon as possible. But I try my best as much as I possibly can. But like you said, I will go back. If I don't see it right away, I'll go back, because once again, if you're not addressing the audience, of course they're going to be like, especially if it's their first time in your show, they're probably going to, oh, this person doesn't read the chat, and or they're not interested in, you know what I mean? So you can't keep their attention as well.
Right. Yeah, that's those are good points. One of the things that anyone will notice when they go to your show is that you do not do share shows. Am I correct? No share shows.
I do not.
What is the reason for that? Because there are a lot of people who don't do it. There are a lot of people who do. Why don't you do share shows?
So I just have not done one, honestly.
Okay.
I just haven't done one. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I ever will do. Now, I have thought about it for the simple fact that it does help with community. It also helps sharing other people's items out as well, making sales for them, and or just like you'll sell your items at a specific time and go back to, I mean, there's so many people on there that do share shows, and then you have the share shows that your item is in a tray for like 3 hours. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, no. But I have thought about it. Maybe I will in the future. I'm not 100% sure just now, because then I'd have to do a schedule. You know what I mean? Like, I'm already trying to maintain a set schedule by me doing my self shows. So it's just kind of,
the people who don't do share shows, I find them to be very successful at doing their shows. Like, you know, you kind of remind me of Iris. Iris doesn't do share shows. If I asked her what a share show is, she probably would say, "What's that? What are you talking about? I don't know what that is." You know, you and her, y'all kind of similar, but you're very successful at it. I go in, I see items sell. Items always selling one after another, one after another. So it's a good thing also, I think, you know, when you don't do share shows, or people who just want to sell their items, because people will they'll know you for doing that. They know what to expect. You know, they know if they want to come spend some money on a good quality item, let me go to Reese's show. Let me go to Iris's show, you know, because that's what the intent is. So it's almost like a guarantee almost that, hey, I'm gonna have a show and I may make a little bit, because I know people know me for doing just my items versus doing share shows and kind of throwing your items in there. And then, you know, you kind of have expectation that you will, you know, make some sales.
And I also think too, it depends on the type of inventory that you have too, because for someone who doesn't have a vast amount of inventory, they'll probably be okay with doing the share shows. But if you have a lot of things and you want to get rid of them, you just don't have time for that. But I do think that it's a beautiful thing to be able to assist others.
Yes, it is. Okay, excuse me, Iris. What is Pierce? That's your last name? Iris Pierce, I think it is. She says she does do share shows once in a while. Okay, if that's the case, Iris, it must be once every 6 months, because I've never seen it. I've just seen you on there selling tank tops and bralettes and all that type of stuff. Ronnie says, oh, here's a question from Absolute Affluence. She says, Reese, quick question. Where do you see the future of your Posh business? And she has 2 questions. If you do see yourself growing in the future, what are the steps you are taking today to prepare for that growth?
Okay. So I do see, I've heard of a lot of people's testimonies that are on Poshmark. I mean, people have people working for them, right? Like, that's the amount of success that they do have, right? So I can see myself continuing to do this. With doing so, of course, it requires consistency. It requires discipline. I would say consistency is the absolute biggest thing. Now, like I said, I do self-source, meaning I don't have a person or a contact that I do get items from, which would make things absolutely easier. I would like that in the future, because I think, like I said, make things a lot easier. It would cut down on travel time, cut down on time in itself, you know. But Yeah, I do see myself this becoming bigger as time goes on. I'm not sure if I
Yeah.
answered the question in its entirety though.
Yeah. And then she just said, what are your item? What steps are you taking to prepare for tomorrow?
So as of now, I'm honestly taking things one day, one step at a time. Now, have I made progress since July last year? Of course. And as I
Hmm.
continue to grow, I make the necessary steps or make changes, that would assist me in, I guess, continuing this. So yeah, I just take it one day, one step at a time because this can be a lot.
Yeah, it can be. I think that applies to everyone. If you're trying to
Yeah.
grow your closet, trying to grow your posh side hustle, your business,
Yeah.
just, that's the beauty of doing it when you want to do it. Just take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
Come to shows like this where you can learn about how to grow your as a posher or a live show host. And just taking one day at a time. Ronnie says, talk about canceling. Where is that? I just saw that. Oh yeah, talk about canceling an item. Okay, so what if there's a person, how do you feel about that? People who come in, they buy something, they say, oh, that's a nice free people top, I like that, and then they go cancel it. Do you see that as being an issue when people cancel on you?
So
Or does she mean, I don't know, Ronnie, is that what you mean, or do you mean, I don't think you're asking how do you cancel an item. I think I think he's probably asking how do you feel about people who
yeah, how do I
cancel
feel
on you?
about
Yeah.
So, I personally, like, initially it wasn't an issue for me. I don't mind doing it. However, when it comes to bookkeeping, when it comes to taxes, if you make over a
Oh,
certain
right.
Poshmark,
Hmm.
then that's where the issue comes in. So I've honestly been contemplating not canceling items moving forward. I really don't
Hmm.
do that. But there's so many issues where tax is concerned because Poshmark, they do keep those amounts in the sales report, etc. So
Right.
you're literally going to be taxed on them, and then you pay the tax on them, and then you do the deductions. So which is crazy. So that's why a lot of people don't say that, but that's why a lot of people don't do cancellations. It is quite an inconvenience, to be honest. And I do
Yeah.
have certain people that are repeated buyers. So I do know
Mhm.
that sometimes they'll be like, oh, I just want to add one more thing or this, that, and the other.
Right.
Yeah, and if it was an accidental bid, like I said, usually I don't mind, but I am thinking as moving forward, I'm thinking that I probably will stop doing that, just having had the opportunity of dealing with taxes this time around. Yeah.
Right. That's a good point. Also, let's talk about mistakenly placing a bid. Yeah, you kind of touched on the accidental bids. That happened in everyone's show. We've all
Yeah.
seen people accidentally bid. And like I've said this once before, what you can do is if you have an iPhone, you can set up Apple Pay and you can make your payment Apple Pay. That way you have to confirm that you're trying to bid on this item.
Yeah.
Because you hear people say, my finger hit the bid button, I dropped my phone and my dog stepped on it and he
There's
hit the
so
bid
many
button.
excuses. Now,
There's a lot of excuses.
I've accidentally bid in people's shows before, but I just took the loss. You know what I mean?
Right.
I honestly just, yeah, I just
It is
did.
what is it? Quick. Okay. Miss D says, a quick question. I'm not a seller, only a buyer. Some people get upset because I don't follow them. I don't need followers because I'm not a seller. Well, I think that's more of a statement. I didn't. What was
Wait,
it?
yeah, yeah.
Come on, Miss D. What? She says, I don't know where the question lied, Miss D, but
Okay.
I guess that's a fun fact. Miss D is not a seller. She's a buyer. For those of y'all, and Miss D is a baller, y'all. So if you need, tag Miss D in your items because she will
Man,
most
I
likely.
know a lot of people on Posh that are ballers. Okay, honey, like
I'm
what?
I'm I'm, I'm interviewing one right now. She's a baller shot caller. That's what she is. Anytime you have 1,000 new tag free peoples, you are pretty much a posh hustler. Anytime you have newer tags, because some people
let's just
have
let's just
excellent use
leave it at
condition.
let's just leave it at favor, okay?
Listen to that favor.
Do
Okay.
you know who
What?
my daddy is? Look, now I'm gonna sound like I'm from New Orleans. Do you know who my daddy is?
Yeah, you sound like you from New Orleans right there. Yeah, Jehovah Jireh, the provider. I know who he is.
My provider, honey. Yes.
Um, oh, babe. Okay. Miss D is saying, why do you think people get upset because she doesn't follow them? she doesn't need followers because she is not a seller. Hey, I don't know, Miss D, if they
I
get
don't
upset.
know, Miss D. I don't know why people would get upset because I mean, to be honest with you, I can't even think of how many followers I have. I have like 30,000 followers. For many of you have like 1 million followers. Do you have
Yeah,
1 million people in your shows? I don't know. You know what I mean? So it's really honestly not a big deal. And that just kind of coincides with the amount of people. I don't know if you were going to touch on that, the amount of people that you have in your show. Like, I mean, yeah, I would love to have 200 people in my show. Sometimes I'll have 25 people and I'm still selling stuff. So it doesn't even
right,
matter, to be honest with you.
right. That was one of my questions. Some people have over 100 consistently. Some have 10. Some have 5. Some people have 40. Well, how important do you think that is in regards to selling your items? Because I've seen where some shows only have 10, 15, but they're just selling one after another, one after another, one after another. But then some shows where they have 100, don't really sell that much. So do you look, is that something that you kind of trying to increase the amount of viewers in your
I
show?
would like to increase the amount of viewers that I had, but as mentioned previously,
Hmm.
I would say I typically have about 30 people in my show. I
Right.
think the max amount of people that I've ever reached was like 55.
Hmm.
But I think it matters only to a certain extent, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I think it does
And I
only to a certain extent. But like I said, I can have 20 people in my show, and it just totally depends on who's in the show. Yeah.
right. And I think that's, 30 people like back then when they first released it, the feature Posh Live Access, 30 people was not considered. It was considered, it wasn't considered a lot of people. But now, since
I think
everybody
that was
pretty much,
a lot of people. Is it?
I believe it is, it's considered a decent amount because now a lot of people have live show access, almost everybody. And there's shows all day, every
All
day. And if you
day.
look through, the option where you can click and look at all shows, the average is around 20 to 40 maybe.
Yeah.
So I think if you're in that, then you have a consistent amount of viewers because with the amount of shows, the amount of options, basically the amount of competition that's out there for people to just look at different shows. So if you have around 30, 40, I think that's pretty good, especially if it's not a share show.
Yeah.
That means there are people in your show interested in what you have.
But I've been in shows to whereas they only have like 10 people in there, and I'm telling you, the person's selling everything they put up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it totally depends.
it does. It depends. Absolute Affluence says she loves New Orleans. Who is Absolute Affluence? Do you know who that is?
I do not.
Okay, well, she loves New Orleans, whoever it is. I'm gonna have to make my way down to New. Crystal and I are gonna come to New Orleans,
Yeah,
and we're
you
gonna check it
guys
out, see what's going on.
were supposed to come help me take my Christmas trees down. I'm just playing.
Yeah, you still have the Christmas tree up, don't you?
I do not.
I was about to say there's a world record right there.
I
Uh,
took it down after Mardi Gras. So if you guys have not ever seen me on Posh, I had 4 Christmas trees up. However, in my office, where this is the room that I actually do my Posh shows in, I had 1 Christmas tree up.
uh-huh.
It was decorated with Mardi Gras stuff when the Mardi Gras season came in. So I kept it up.
Right.
I believe that it brought a sense of New Orleans to Poshmark. Yeah, I haven't seen many people with a Christmas tree up for a long period of time. So yeah, I just kept it up after Christmas for the Mardi Gras season. After that, it came right down.
Okay. Excuse my bad. He says, I am a man. Excuse me. I didn't know what it was. I see a horse, but okay. My brother Abe. It's a man,
Hey,
Absolute Influence.
what's that thing that you do? I can't ever get it.
This is like this. You go 2 palm. It's 2, 1, 2 open, 1, 2 close, the salute, and then the deuce, just like that. That's
All
how we
right.
do it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, here's a question.
That
Question
takes
for Reese. Yeah, take a little practice. Just like Jennifer Odo, it takes practice with her jokes, then she'll be funny. Look, Absolute Affluence says, so here's a question for Reese. Do you hand source your items? I don't know if you answered that. Yeah, what do you
that I go get them myself, or meaning I actually physically touch them or do it online. I
Yeah,
think
what do
we
you
did
mean? Can
touch
you
them. So yeah, I source all of my items
Yeah.
personally. Yeah.
Right. Okay. What about the item? One thing I noticed in your shows, you're not one of the sellers who does, well, I don't know, maybe you have, I just haven't seen it. A $3 start, $5 start. You run stuff for $8. You run stuff for, what you think it should be ran for? $40, 45, 35. You know what I mean? How important do you think it is? Because a lot of people just try to I don't know if they think nobody will buy stuff if they price it higher, but you're not afraid to price stuff high. And I've seen people buy plenty of items from your show. How important is that, kind of deciding the item price, starting price? Should I go low just to make a sale, or should I just put it out there for what I think it should sell for? Because you don't do low starts.
I do not.
You sell it.
I do
Yeah.
not.
Is that because you're just trying to make that profit, or is that, what's the reason for that? No low starts.
One, yeah, you have to think about your items and how much you paid for them. I mean, you think about the 20% that Poshmark takes out of every item, every sale.
Right.
And then you think about the profit that you want to make on the item, and then also the value of the item. And I think when you start a show, you start your live access, or you obtain the live access, you start selling live, then you just kind of have to set a foundation and stick with it. For me personally, I've never done $3 starts. I've never done $5 starts. No dig to anyone that does that. If it works for you, it works for you. For me, that's not a thing. It will never be a thing. Yeah.
So like I said before, if y'all want some nice high quality items, especially free people, because they're all new without tags or new with tags, check out Threads of Reese. What's going on, Mercedes, aka Play Dates? What's going on, Play Dates? How you doing, Play Dates? Don't be here talking all that noise. She loves to talk noise. I don't know why.
Like for instance, yesterday, which we're all on Posh for the most part, whether you're a buyer or a seller, I'm sure that you have witnessed going into shows and there are people that are running $3 Gucci wallets, and they think because they have 100 people in the show, you know what I mean, that the item is going to sell at a reasonable price that would be acceptable for them. But last night I was in a show, and I used to go to the show a lot, but I just hopped in yesterday. And the person was like low-key upset because this Gucci wallet sold for like $60, and it was in like pristine condition, like absolutely amazing. And I'm like, why do you feel compelled to start your items at $3? Like there's nothing that says that you absolutely have to do that. Like you're making a decisive decision to do that. You know what I mean? So, hey, if it sells for low, if it sells for 20, 25, and then I also think another thing that impacts that is what the viewers are looking at. Like, do you have enough people that's interested in this item to even place a bid on the item?
Exactly.
Like I said, for me, I won't ever do that. So, yeah.
Absolute Affluent says he loves your store. He notices you have over 1,513 items in your store. A boss. Yeah, she's a boss on Posh. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's a good point you make. Just because you see items running for $3 doesn't mean you have to do it. You don't have to be, you don't have to let that, be an influence to you about, doing low starts. Shipping speed. If somebody buys from Threads of Reese, how soon can they expect their item to be shipped?
Less than 24 hours. My ranking is 0.8 days.
Oh, wow. Not even a day.
Yeah.
Okay. Less than 24 hours.
Yes. And I am one of those people. I will not press ship on your item until it is out of my possession. Yeah.
Okay. Instead of like doing it at home and then going later to drop it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So if you hit, if they get a notification that says the item has been shipped, they can guarantee that it's actually been dropped off.
It is outside of my possession. Yeah.
Is outside your position. Have you ever done the option where the person picks up the items? I heard some people do that.
I have never before. No.
Okay, I was just curious to see, because there are some people who do that. Here's a question, Reese: do you copy Posh's usernames and tag them when you are in a show to notify them? Oh, like a tag list. Do you drop tag lists?
So I do have a tag list. However, I use it sometimes, but sometimes I don't use it. So it totally depends on how if the show has gotten started off to a great start, because that does take time for you to go in and copy and paste every single name. You know what I mean? So you may get tagged in, and initially I thought that it was a really great idea. I mean, but people are going to come on your show regardless of whether you tag them or not tag them. It all depends. And I mean, we all have busy lives. So you know, you come on when you can. If you can't, you can't. But I do have one. Do I utilize it as much as I used to? I don't.
Right. That's one thing I've never had. I never had a tag list. Nails always tells me you need to get a tag list. I've never had a tag list. I'm the same way. I feel like if you those who join will join, those who don't join won't join. But it's not a knock to people who do have tag lists. I just
Yeah.
never use them. What's going on? Nadia Lucas says hello, Reese.
Hey, girlfriend.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, Nadia. If you're just now joining, everyone, Thursday Reese is live in the building with us. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, the TDT Podcast. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Okay. Absolute Affluence says right, but when you have a buyer's list of high ticket items, then you eliminate the $3 buyers. No, maybe I'm wrong.
Like I said, to each its own. Yeah, you eliminate them. And I mean, the way that I look at it, I would love to be inclusive to all. But as mentioned previously, who's going to be for you is who's going to be for you. And the majority of the people that frequent my show, I have a lot of repeated customers. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you set a standard and you stick with it. And people can appreciate that. Either you're going to be with me or you're not going to be with me. You're for me or you're against me. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. Or you just whatever. So I totally get that sometimes running items at $3 is the thing for some people. But like I said, if I have to eliminate people because I do not do that, that's just a part of my standard. And it is, I'm sorry.
Got you.
Yeah.
You got that absolute
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. Hey, how do you know what's trending? You know what I mean? In regards to selling out, how do you know what to sell? For some people who just got a closet, they have live show access, whatever, they don't know what to sell, they don't know what to get. Is it kind of a trial? Have you found it to be a trial and error thing, or is it something you actually research?
I have not researched that, to be honest with you, because you'll go into various shows and you'll actually see that people have a bunch of different type of items. You know what I mean? For me personally, free people is like the plug. It's always going to be. It will never, in my opinion, it will never be one that's done, away with. I mean, now there's a lot of people on Poshmark that sell a lot of free people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I look up to some of those people because some people think that my items are priced at whatever, but honestly, in comparison to some of the other people that I do follow and I frequent their shows, my items are so much more cheaper than theirs. So yeah.
Right. I've noticed that's interesting because some brands, they just go out of style, I don't know if it's because they go out of style. They don't sell as they used to. Like Vera Bradley. You remember Vera Bradley used to be very popular on Posh. Now you can't even give away a Vera Bradley,
Yeah, I'm very picky when it comes to the items that I do put into my closet. And sometimes it's a gamble. You know what I mean? You'll buy something in hopes that someone will be interested in it, and they end up not being interested in it. So it's kind of give or take, to be honest with you. It's a chance. Yeah.
It is a chance that you take. And that's what I found out to be, that it's just kind of trial and error. You try it out. And then as you sell more items, as you continue to Posh, you'll find what trends, what people are looking for, and things like that. Do you have any tips on people on listing items? Like when you list an item, as far as picture quality, what you put in the description, the title, is there a certain thing that kind of maybe draws attention when you actually do list that people can do?
So one of the things that I do know that people appreciate a lot about me, whether it be just in the closet and or during my live shows, a lot of people appreciate the simple fact that I'm able to share my size, and I have knowledge of what size. If I'm holding a specific item up, I can tell them the size that I actually wear in the item. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
I also give them my specific measurement. So that kind of helps. It is person making a decision on a size, because once again, Poshmark is if it doesn't work for you, you either gift it or you resell it, sort of, you know what I mean, platform.
Right.
So I think it helps for the buyer to be a little bit more confident in their decision making. Yeah.
Right. Some good points. I hope everybody's taking notes. These are some good points.
Yeah, but I do think the more thorough and detailed you are in the listing, then it's better. Initially, I would take a whole bunch of original photos, but most of my sales are in my shows, so I typically do stock photos. That's basically it.
Yeah, I like the stock photo look because it's more professional, you know.
Yeah.
Do you do a blend as well? Like you take your own photos and you do stock photos
Sometimes
as
I
well?
do. Yeah, I'll do both
Okay.
of them sometimes, but most time, like I said, listing in itself takes up a lot of time, you know?
Right.
So for me personally, I'll take the stock photos and remove the background or what have you, just because I'm that anal. All my whites have to be the same color white.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do what I do. Okay. But it does make a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
it does. It
yeah.
does make a difference. It does make a difference.
Wait,
Are
I have
you?
a question for you if time permits.
Oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so of course I frequent your show, and in all of the time that I've been on the show, I don't know why I've not asked
Mm-hmm.
publicly while you are live, but I always hear people make people always bring up Adabesa. Who
At that
is that?
bedside, yes.
Yes, who
At that
is
bedside. That's Jennifer's ex-boyfriend. No, I'm just joking. I always mess with her. You hear that? You hear that, Miss D? She wants to know who at that bedside is. I wish
yes?
Dave was here. He'll tell you all about. Well, at
I
the bedside is a guy on Paul. Because supposedly, according to Nails, because you know Nails is like the Posh news anchor. She knows everything about Posh, what's going on in the Posh streets. But at the bedside was a guy who would sell, like for example, he'll sell a Nike T-shirt, and instead of running it for 15, 20, he run it for like 320.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just runs everything sky high. Jennifer know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they went out on a date a few times, but yeah, he would sell everything sky high, and it'll be regular items. You know, like that's why Dave always comes in the chat. He says, "Hey, Adabessa has a new without tags, Adidas size 10 shoe running right now for $417." He would always sell. Is that the headphones guy? No, this is not the headphone. I don't know who that is. Small fish, Jennifer Polo. No, we're talking about at that Bessa, the guy
Adabesa.
who
Yes,
price
I've been
gouges.
Kristen show for a while now, and yeah, every now and then go hear somebody come in and they're like Arabesa. I'm like, one day I'm gonna ask him about that because yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know
he
who
just
that.
sells, but he's serious.
So,
He doesn't even do it as a joke. He's serious though. I
so
asked
did
him
he
one
ever
time.
sell any of those items?
He's
Considering
yeah
the
he
price
sold some.
high.
Yeah, he sold some stuff like he sold them real high. He
Okay,
sold some people have bought, but supposedly he got flagged or something and got his account suspended. Nails know the story. I don't know how. I think she works for Posh undercover and she don't want to tell nobody. But and I asked him one time because he was on somebody's show as a co-host. They brought him on, and I said, "Hey, I put in the chat at the best side. Why do you sell your stuff so high?" He said, "Man, I'm trying to make a profit." That's how he did his hands. I said, "Well, first of all, what's wrong with your hands? Number one, but then that's okay. You're trying to make a profit. That's what he said. I'm trying to make a profit." And he was serious. He be running stuff $629 for a pair of Converses. He just, I don't know what's up with him, but
that's
that's who at the best side is.
yeah.
That's who he is. Jennifer knows all about him. But yeah, no, Jennifer Rodo, not Jennifer Polo. We have Jennifer Polo and Jennifer Rodo in here. Okay.
Yeah.
Nails, yeah, Nails is the undercover posher. Jennifer
Is Nels
Rodo.
in here right now?
I don't know. I don't think she's watching. She would have commented. I know she's gonna go back and watch. But yeah, Nails knows all about
Hey,
at their best side.
girl.
Yeah.
We will never live down threads of free. If Dave was in here, he would have had the chat spammed with a TOF, okay?
Yeah, threads are free. Shout that out for threads are free. Then hit that joint like nobody's watching. I'm like, first of all, you have a joint in your hand. Do you know that? Don't you? It ain't like, what's wrong with you? But anyway, she's cool. We all like Nails.
Yes, love Nails. Yes.
Have you ever been to Posh Fest?
I have not, but I am
Okay.
waiting the location to be shared. I'm not sure if it has been shared just yet, but I'm awaiting.
Yeah.
It would be something nice, a good addition to my
Yeah.
Posh experience this coming year.
I think I'm gonna go as well, depending on where it is. I'm waiting for
I
that
would love to know
location.
where it's at because I'm just like
Yeah.
the amount of money that would be needed to spend on that. I prefer to go on a vacation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because that's what I noticed last time. The tickets were high. A lot of people didn't go because it's like you said, it's like going on a vacation. You might as well make it a vacation, like you said.
Yeah, you can definitely make it a vacation, but I'd probably much prefer to choose my own vacation spot and just
Right.
But
It'll be.
I just want to know where it's at. It would be great if it's in the South somewhere.
Oh yeah. You know what? 2 years or 3 years ago, I think it was 2 years. It was in Houston.
Oh,
But that was,
wow.
yeah, that was when I first joined Posh. I haven't been on Posh that long, like maybe 3.5 years, maybe
Okay.
4. And as soon as I joined, had an account, started listing items. I noticed it was in Houston, but I found out late and I didn't go. But that would have been nice. But now, if it goes, of course I'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be nice to meet all of y'all. Nice.
Exactly. That's what I'm looking forward to. I would love to meet a lot of people on here. Yeah.
Yeah. Jennifer Polo says, let's tailgate at Posh Fest and save some money on the tickets. Yeah, tailgate. What small fish crafts? You a baller anyways. You and Mr. Shark. You don't.
I have heard though a lot of people that I know that I have had the opportunity of meeting, not necessarily in person, but we've exchanged contact information and have developed some sort of a relationship. A lot of
Right.
people, they do say that a lot of people go just for the community aspect of it. It doesn't matter about the
Right.
that's there, because most of the information that has been shared or is shared is information that you probably know anyways. You know what I mean?
Right.
So at the end of
Yeah.
the day, everybody just get there and just meet each other.
Meet each other and have fun.
Yeah.
Jennifer
And that's an
says,
experience that I would be looking forward to, because you never know. I do believe in divine connections as well, and you never
yes.
would have the opportunity of meeting.
Right. You never know. Adabesa can sell hot dogs for $110, says Jennifer Rodo. I think they went out on a hot dog date, and that's how much he paid. So she knows by experience, Jennifer and Adabesa.
Well, if they are going to Costco has good hot dogs.
Yeah, Costco has some good pizza too.
They do.
It's like a big box of grease, but it's pretty good.
Sometimes it's a little bit oily, so you need to get the napkin and just dab that oil off just a little bit. But I can with it.
You do need at least 1,000 napkins when you're eating Costco pizza, because it is like I said, it's a box of grease. It is very shiny meat.
It is for sure.
I believe in the Absolute says, I believe in divine tequila shots. Okay. Just a fun fact. To be clear,
like
Jennifer says, I don't know how to best
mean
in
what
real
you
life.
say and say what you mean.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Yeah,
let's not forget the $5 Costco rotisserie chicken. Okay, I don't know about the $5 rotisserie. Okay, now you got folks hungry in the chat. Now, Jennifer Odo says, I saw it. Okay,
exactly. I think I'm working up an appetite.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give me something to eat when I get off of here. And last but not least, in regards to Posh, what would you like to see from Poshmark? Whether it be some changes they should make, something they should a new feature they should add. What is there anything that you're looking forward to, or what can they do to just kind of better the experience?
Mm-hmm. Now, I've heard of a lot of people that have had issues with Posh. I mean, thankfully, I've not had that experience with them just yet. But one of the biggest things that I believe that they should do is change the bid button. I really honestly think make everybody's experience better. They
did that.
They did. They made it bigger is what they did.
It was small like this. You had to kind of put on your glasses. You're like, how do I bid on this? Then they made it bigger. So
they made a change, but they made it bigger. And you know what? I kind of see where marketing is concerned and trying to be different than other apps as well. Because like an app like Whatnot has the bid button, but you actually have to swipe it. I much prefer that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're not just tapping it. If you tap on it, it's gonna do nothing. You literally have to hold it down and swipe it. And I believe they're like competitors, but I think it make the experience so much better, both for the seller and the buyer.
But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is correct. They had a swipe to bid as well, and they changed that.
Okay.
I think they had. Yeah, am I right? I think they did.
Initially, before I got on there,
yeah, they did. Absolute Affluence. Yeah, they had a swipe to bid, but then they changed that and just made a long bid.
So why did they do that? Is the question. I guess the world no.
I don't know. I don't want to say no. I don't know why they doing that.
Yeah,
they did.
Why did you do that?
Why did you change it?
It's just like your iPhone or whatever device you have. You get used to having something that you really love, and then you do the update, and then next thing you know, it takes away everything that you loved about. About the way that things function.
Right. Yeah, they did. Jennifer Polo says the placement of the bid button needs to be moved.
Yeah, I would definitely say the placement of it, because it is in a weird spot. Like literally, if you're holding your phone, it's right where your finger would be. Like, so you can easily press that. I would say just move
Easily.
it up. You know, it make it harder for people to accidentally bid, but hey,
Yeah, you have to intentionally bid. Yeah.
maybe if we make it to Posh Fest, we can share our concerns.
Posh Fest, we're gonna let y'all know what needs to be changed. A bigger tray and a small fee,
Oh
says
gosh,
Iris.
yes, a bigger tray. I would, even if they moved it up to like 80 items, I would appreciate that. I'm asking for 100, but if they were to just move it up to 80, that would make things so much better. And it would also allow your shows to move a little bit more smoothly if you are the person that has items listed, like myself.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Iris, a bigger tray. You don't have to keep going back and forth, adding more things. You can keep the show going. Yeah,
exactly.
And a small fee, she says also.
A smaller fee, of course.
A smaller fee, yes.
Those are, I would say, in my opinion, those would be the top 3 things. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear a lot of
button, making the larger, and decreasing the fees. Yes, those will be top 3. I do agree.
Yeah, and I believe top 1 from what I hear from Postures is that 20%.
Is the 20%. Yes, a lot of people have issues with that. I mean, I personally would like for it to be less, sir, of course. But at the end of the day, too, I think about me not having to have my own website, not having to deal with my own customer service. So all of that stuff comes into play. So it kind of rounds out. You know what I mean? I personally, like I said, never had any issues, whereas any customer service type issues, it's all worked out in my favor. So I do know that there are a lot of people who have had a lot of issues, and they say that Poshmark did this and Poshmark did that. But thankfully, that's not been my experience. I've also not that many complaints, but
yeah, I'm in the same boat. I haven't had, you know, like you said, people say Poshmark contacted them about this and about that. I haven't experienced that, and I haven't gotten a lot of complaints either, which is why I believe it's important to just kind of continue always to act with integrity on Posh.
Exactly.
Be professional. That way you can get good love notes, because I think those love notes that people leave about your item counts, because people do read those when they see that you're professional seller, nice items. They're more likely to buy from you versus some bad reviews.
I do agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of like, I have a good bit of love notes, but I do have a lot of people that only give the 5 stars. I remember not too long ago, I had one person that left me like a 4-star review, and I was like, oh my goodness, what did I do?
Yeah, because they didn't say anything, did they? In the love note.
No, well, they actually left a remark, and it was, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I did reach out to the person in regards to the comment that was left. And this was an item that I showed the person. Well, actually, I typically don't do mystery boxes. However, every now and then I will do mystery boxes, and my mystery boxes, the value of them is like up to like $500. And I do usually sell, like, you get 6 items, and I will show you. So it's not technically like a mystery box. I'll show you the items or what have you. And this person literally said, now, like I said, this isn't something that I do all the time. Every now and then I'll do it, because people are always like, hey, can you bring a mystery box back or something? But I do it every blue moon. But yeah, they were like, they didn't like the texture of an item, so that's why they left a mark on there. And I'm just like, girl, bye. Okay. But it was a first time. It actually was a first time buyer. So
it was a first time buyer. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you, Miss D. She said she left me a love note yesterday. Thank you, Miss D, for your love note. But yeah, y'all do what you can to get some good love notes.
It makes a difference.
Reviews. It makes a difference. People do read them.
Yeah.
Especially if they see you have thousands of them and they're all good. They're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna shop in this person's closet. Okay. Last but not least, let's play this or that. Before we get you out of here. Daytime or nighttime?
I prefer daytime.
Okay, for daytime.
I'm not a nighttime.
That's right. But yeah, because you even on my show, you go to bed early, like Miss D, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Yeah, okay. I believe that daytime.
Not that early. But yeah, no,
daytime.
I've never been a nighttime person at all. The only time I stayed up late was when I was in college. I stayed up to study, but outside of that, nah, I've never been a nighttime.
Breakfast, lunch, or dinner is your favorite?
Lunch.
Lunch, okay. Dogs or cats?
I would say neither, but if I had to pick, I would say
you would say who?
Dogs.
Okay, so you're not really a pet person.
I'm not a pet person, no.
Okay, just a money person. Cash, De Niro, moolah, the cheddar cheese, guap. I got you. Yeah. What about the cash? The cash. TV shows or movies?
Movies.
Yeah, me too. Movies. I don't really watch much TV shows. If I do, it's probably Shark Tank, something like that. And basketball. I watch basketball. But yeah.
And the list goes on. Yeah, I mean, I'll tune into Netflix. So I'll catch some series, but I'm more into movies. I feel like you get a complete experience in that one setting. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Comfortable clothes or dressy attire?
Oh gosh. I like both. I mean, people always tell me I'm either dressed all the way up or dressed all the way down. There's no in between. So it totally just
Gotcha. I was just messing with you, Miss D. She says, first of all, I don't go to bed early. It's put some respect on my name. I got you, Miss
Yeah, Miss D stays on. When I say that I'm leaving out, Miss D stays on. And yes, yesterday you addressed me. Always address me. You guys keep saying something because Reese isn't going to leave. When she says she's leaving, she's not going to leave. Well, people always say hi or good night. So I always want to be respectable. They took the time to type something, so I want to respond to them.
She always there. She'll be like, I'm leaving, y'all. Y'all have a good night. I have a show in the morning, 12 o'clock, whatever. See y'all later. 30 minutes later, she's still on the show. Hey, so what's going on? But I thought you said you was leaving. You still here, but it's okay. Everybody, we enjoyed Threads Are Free. Like Neil says, presence. We enjoy your presence. Yeah, so it's all good.
And if you are just joining, it is Threads of Reese. My name is Reese.
Yeah, it's Reese.
That's an inside.
It's an inside joke, but yeah. All right, Reese, I'm not gonna hold you anymore. I appreciate your time today. We can always do this again down the road. Thanks for being a good friend on Posh, one of my Posh homies by way of New Orleans. Thank you for your time today. Yeah.
I'll get it one day. But no,
yeah, just
so much for there we go. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It has been a pleasure to converse with you this evening. I look forward to seeing everyone on Posh. And as always, make sure to give me a follow. If not, if you don't, that's fine as well too. But I hope to see you guys tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time.
There we go. Before I get you out of here, that's what I was gonna ask you. If you want to tell people your schedule when they can follow, other than tomorrow, is there other days that you're going live this week, or is there standard days?
So this coming week, it'll probably be Wednesday and Friday. I always put up a flyer for my next show. And if there are any changes, then I'll make that known as well and make the changes that are needed. But outside of that, I try to be consistent. But however, lately my schedule has been very, very busy. Yeah, but this week it should be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, y'all tune in to Threads of Reese show tomorrow. What time is it again tomorrow?
7 a.m. Central Standard Time.
7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Like her closet, share items in her closet. Check her out. This has been TDT and Threads of Reese in the building at the TDT Poshcast. Like Jennifer Roto just mentioned, like this video and subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is a new podcast, and I'm thankful and grateful to all the hosts who have helped me launch this with interviews like Reese, Mr. Shark, Diana, and Nails, and Lady Dar. And I have more people coming up. I believe we have Avril's Closet coming up next. We have Big Meg coming up. We have Trends of Trash coming up. We have several people coming up. So I appreciate all y'all's support. Of course, you can find me Monday. No, not Monday. Sometimes on Mondays, but usually Tuesday and Wednesdays at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Also every Saturday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And look, like I said before, if you missed it earlier, what I said, this coming Saturday, I do have a character in mind that I'm going to be. It's going to take a lot of time and preparation to get the voice down and to get the whole look down, but I believe I can pull it off. It's going down.
I cannot wait. I'm sure you're going to do an amazing job. You've seriously aced all of the previous characters. You do a really good job.
I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for your support. I appreciate that. So this coming Saturday.
Look, one of my favorite, not to prolong this, but one of my favorite characters has been, oh my goodness, I totally just forgot his name. The Steve Irwin.
Oh, Steve Irwin, yeah, the crocodile hunter. Good eye, mate. You're all right, mate. You're all right.
Hard during that show, I literally was just like out of it. So
I was just coming up with stuff on the fly, and I'll think back to some stuff that he would say, and I just said, okay, whatever I think people will laugh at, that's what I just say. That's how I do it.
I felt bad for all of the animals, reptiles, insects, all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, they were biting me, so I don't play that. Don't be biting me. I'm trying to no. But yeah, thank you though. I appreciate that. Saturday, y'all, 7:00 p.m. This character that I have in mind, it may be. I think it may be one of my best ones yet. We'll see. I don't know. It may not be. It might be all right. We'll check it out. But he was killing toys left and right. Yes, Jennifer Rodo. Yeah. They around here somewhere. There's Snakey is over there, I think. Yeah. But all right, y'all. This is TDT, Threads of Reese. Y'all check her out, follow, subscribe, share her items out, and we'll catch you next time this coming Sunday, 6:00 p.m. right here on the TDT podcast.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
It's always first the blade like ball face. Echo when I let go of this praise in the hallway. Special, the way he wrestled with the devil. Come on. The pedal to the meadow while leveling up all day. Yeah. It's always first the blade like ball face. Echo when I let go of this praise in the hallway. Special, the way he wrestled with the devil. Come on. The pedal to the meadow while leveling up all day.